Hello everyone, I want to start off by introducing myself. My name is Mr. Zimmer. I'm currently a student at Mankato State University working on becoming a math teacher. In a typical school year, I'd actually currently be in the classroom working with you guys on a daily basis, shadowing your teacher, also teaching a couple lessons. But with schools the way they are right now, I'm just going to be teaching a couple lessons online. But I am also still a resource that you guys can use. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them and I can help you guys out. I am going to be going over a couple resources we have dealing with matrix calculations, since that is what you guys are currently working on. I'm going to start off by looking at this matrixcalc.org with you guys. This site is nice because it's free, so anyone with internet access is able to use this. It can do matrix calculations, solving systems of linear equations, large determinant calculator, which is something you will all probably learn later. Same with the eigenvalues. Looking at the matrix calculator for now. If we look at, first let's just look at the single matrix. You can make it as large as you need it to be, or as small. A nice thing as well is you can use arrows if you don't want to just keep clicking on that button. The arrows is a quicker way to make these larger. And you can quickly just hit tab to implement your numbers you need. Also know that even if this is currently this is a 3x3 matrix, remember that it's rows by columns. Like if we remove one, this would be a 2x2. I guess this only shows square matrices. But just because it's a 3x3, you can just put in information like this to have a 3x2. Since these are blank, we'll just take it as there's no data there. This can find you the determinant, the inverse, transpose, find the rank. These are all very important things that you'll need to know how to do later. A nice thing as well, if we just do this real quick, it will show you how to do all these steps too. So even though you may not know how to find the determinant right now, this does actually kind of teach you how to find that stuff. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to focus mostly on addition and subtraction and multiplication at the moment. So again, looking at a single matrix, we can also multiply in the matrix. So let's say we needed to know 4 times matrix A. All the results will be right here. And we can also just insert it into matrix A. This is a nice quick way in case we have, let's say we have a problem 4 times matrix A plus matrix B. We can easily first solve for our 4 times matrix A, put it back into here, and then add our matrix B. Right here we have multiplication, addition, and subtraction. And then we'd get our answer if this was 4 times matrix A, our original matrix A, plus matrix B. Clean these off real quick. Remember, for matrix addition and subtraction, they do need to be the same size, the exact same size, same columns and same rows. Like this is the same size, so they could be added, but if we try to do one not the same size, it will just give us a notification that they must be the same size. So it won't just give you an error message, it will tell you why that is unable to work. So if we look at another, let's look at a 3x3 matrix here. Note that you do actually have to put 0 in the matrix. If you leave it blank, even though it shows this clear 0, it will not put that input in for you. You have to put 0. So let's assume our question was 3 times matrix A plus 2 times matrix B. We can easily put in 3 for the matrix A, 2 for the matrix B, insert those into their appropriate matrices and add them. And then here we would have our result. This also shows you the addition steps they made. This does only show you for when you add the addition. So this didn't show you that you multiplied these first. Just be aware of that. An important thing to know is there are a lot of nice resources online to do math, but it is important that you can do all these steps by hand as well, because you are going to have classes and exams where you're not going to have access to all these tools, even your calculator a lot of times. There is this nice swap function where they'll just switch matrix A and matrix B. This is important when, let me change these numbers so that they're a little bit more different. This is important for multiplication, because if you remember, we have to know that matrix A times matrix B is not the same as matrix B times matrix A. Again, this shows you all the steps. So if you ever are a little bit confused about the steps for multiplication, this is a nice way of showing you what you're doing. So again, remember, we can use this tool for other things as well that you'll need in the future. Let's look at multiplication again real quick. I only briefly went over that. All right. So if this is a 3 by 2 times a 3 by 2. So hopefully we all know, is this going to be able to be multiplied by each other? The answer is no. Because remember that the number of columns in the first matrix should be equal to the number of rows in the second. So the easiest way to remember this is if you write it out. So we have a 3 by 2 and a 3 by 2. The last digit of the first matrix, the columns, needs to match the rows. So the first number of the second matrix. That is how you'll find out if it is something you can do, if you can even multiply the two matrices. And then the nice little trick thing as well is it will show you the size of the next matrix, so you can know if you're doing your steps right as well. So let's make this so that you can do it. So this is a 3 by 3, 3 by 2. So we have a 3, 3, they match. Since it's 3 and 2, we know that it's going to be a 3 by 2. So the size of your new matrix is going to be equal to your rows of your first and your columns of your second. Again, this shows you all your steps. So this is a very nice tool that everyone has access to. Again, you do need to know how to make these steps, but for homework, maybe more complex matrices, because this can also do fractions in your entries. So I don't know if you'll ever have a homework this complicated, but if you did, this would be able to do all that for you as well. And then also look, if you look at the steps, if you click on, or if you hover over the steps, it does show you what columns and rows it's using in your matrices, which is also really nice. All right. The other important thing I'm going to try to go over, unfortunately, I don't have a good additional webcam to go over this, but I'm going to try to go over a TI-84. Most graphing calculators are very similar. I believe you guys also have access to a free version of these on your Chromebook or whatever device you guys have. I saw that you guys have a free download for that. So this should be similar steps to that. So these are very nice tools, obviously. If you go to second and matrix on this one, it's right here. Oops, I have to click the second first. You'll see the names, the math, and the edit. If you go over to the edit, all these are different matrices that you can implement different data into. So if you click on one, just click enter. On the top, you're just going to put in the size of your matrix. So like this one, we have a 3x2. And you can put in all your information here. All right. Let's go second mode. We'll quit out of here. So I'll try to make that a little more clear for you. Let's also make a 2x2. So make it 2x2. Okay. Let's make a third one as well. All right. Let's make this one 3x3 so that I can show addition and subtraction. I'm just going to quickly put in some inputs here. Just put in the number and enter. It'll move on to the next spot in the matrix. Otherwise, arrows also move towards the entry that you need. All right. Now, if you go under that matrix spot on the calculator again, so now in the names, if you click on, let's say our matrix, I have to change this one. I'm going to change that third matrix to a 3x2 so I can show addition and multiplication. Sorry about that. Okay. So if we go under our matrices, so we have a 3x2 matrix. If we click on that matrix A, we can then add that matrix C since it's the same size. And so even under the names, it still shows you the size of those matrices as well. And then I'll just add them for you. Same thing with the matrixcalc.org. If I want to do, let's say, 4 times the matrix plus 2 times the matrix, if you just put those multiplications in front of it, it again will do all those steps for you as well. This one won't show you the steps it took, so that is a difference. But again, this is a nice way to get those matrix additions solved. I'm going to state again, don't become too reliant on these because you are going to want to know how to do them by hand as well. But these are nice tools to have. So same thing here. We have a 3x2 matrix times our 2x2 matrix. All right. Another thing I'm going to say, because these are things you're going to want to know later with the calculators. If you go over to, this is still under the matrix. If you go under the math, the DET, that will find the determinant. That one you'll use quite a bit. And then the other one is you're going to want to know the REF and the RREF. These are the reduced row. So again, you might not need to know this right now, but just stating it now that those are there as well on your calculator, because those are something in the future that you're going to want to have access to. All right. Hopefully that was fairly clear to see. Sorry again that I don't have a better way to display that. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me them. Be happy to help. I am going to post in the comments just a few problems. There's going to be a link to a Google Forms. I'd appreciate if everyone took just a couple minutes to answer those questions. Nothing's too difficult. Just want to make sure that you can use the matrixcalc.org. You could also use the calculator if you'd like. All right. So I believe your guys' teacher will share that link to you. Otherwise, it is going to be in the description of this video, so you can also just click on it there. I'll also have a link to this matrixcalc.org, although I believe you guys have access to this as well. All right. Hope this was helpful. If you have any more questions about these tools, or if there is a different resource that an individual uses and wants some more clarification on, again, don't hesitate to ask. All right, I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video, and have a good day.